Welcome back to the next video of our data structure concept. Today we are going to learn about non-linear data structure, in which we are going to see about binary tree and binary tree traversal. First we see about what is binary tree. A tree whose element has at most two children is called a binary tree. Since each element in a binary tree can have only two children, we typically name them as left and right child. You can look at the picture over here. This first node we call it as a root of binary tree, and we have exactly two nodes, one left node and one right node. It is not mandatory every node should be carrying two nodes. It can even have one node also, but remember it cannot exceed more than two nodes. 2 is a root node and as well as act as a parent for 7 and 5, and 7 is a parent node and 2 and 6 are the child node of 7, and the same 6 is going to act as a parent for 5 and 11, and here likewise 5 is going to be a parent for 9 and 9 is going to be the parent for 4, and all these end nodes 2, 5, 11, 4, all these are called as child nodes. The topmost node is called root of the tree. Like I said, here 2 is the topmost node, we call it as a root. The elements that are directly under an element are called its children, whereas 7 and 5 are children of 2. The element directly above something is called its parent. Okay. And I am giving an example where 2 is a child of 7 and 7 is a parent of 2 and so on. So let's see the representation. Here we are going to deal with linear structure. We are not following an array concept, we are following linear structure. We need three partition, as because we are dealing with tree structure, we have a element and as well as we are dealing with the left node and as well as with the right node. So we have three partition. A tree is represented by a pointer to the topmost node in tree. If the tree is empty, then value of root is null. The tree node contains following parts. Like I said, it contains data and pointed to the left child and pointed to the right child. Remember, we are dealing with singly linked list, but in singly linked list, like how we will learn polynomial manipulation, here also we have three partition, as because we need three important things to be accumulated. We need data, and then we need address of the left node, and we need address of the right node. Look over here, this will give a clear picture. You can see an example. This is a tree structure. We have A as a root node and B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. All the child nodes are H, I, E, F, G. Parent nodes are D, B, C, and as well as E. And A also acts as a root node. You can see all these nodes are converted into a linked list format. We have three partitions. You can see A is a root node, and left partition carries the address of B, and the right partition carries the address of C. And below B we have D and E. So likewise below B we have D and E, and the left partition carries D's address and the right partition carries E's address. Likewise all others are categorized. All the child nodes which we have the data H, I, E, F, G, and remember we don't have any other nodes to be continued further. If you don't have any other nodes, make sure the empty nodes or empty partitions are filled with null. Here I am giving X, instead of that make it as null. All the x's are going to be replaced with null. And let's see the structure. I am mentioning something called type definition struct bin, and inside the definition part I am mentioning the data and struct bin left and struct bin right. We have three partition. I am mentioning all the three partitions over here, and for this structure I am giving a node. We have already learned this structure, it's not new. The only thing which you find new over here is type definition. What is type definition? What is the purpose of using type definition? If I am not using type definition, for example, if I am introducing a new name for the structure, like how we learned in linked list, while we insert or delete any element from the node, from the link structure, we introduce something called temp. If we are introducing temp, how we are going to introduce? We will be using something called struct node or struct bin and start temp. We have to use every time the struct bin for introducing a new name for this particular structure. Where if you use type definition, you can avoid that. You can directly use node instead of that. Instead of using struct bin start temp, you can say node equal to start temp or node space start temp. That's enough. That's a specialty about type definition. It can be used to give a name to user defined data type also. This is a user defined data type, the type which I am mentioning here. So you can give a name for it. The name I'm giving over here is node. So it represents the structure definition associated with it. Instead of using struct bin, you can go for node and start temp, node star head, give anything like that. You can avoid this terms like this. That's the advantage of going for type definition. And if you are finding it difficult or if you're confused with this type definition, you can go with the old procedure. Skip this type definition, go for struct bin, introduce all this and use a node, and you can go along with that. There's a one method where you should be knowing. There's an advantage of avoiding every time to use struct bin inside the program. And next we see about tree traversal. We are dealing with the non-linear data structure. That means the nodes are not going to be in one particular order. That's the difference between linear and non-linear data structure. We know that. When I talk about linear data structure, stack, queue, array, linked list, you all can find either it can be in a horizontal order or vertical order. You can find a particular order in linear data structure. When it comes to non-linear data structure, you can't find any structure in it. You can find the nodes present at anywhere. You can't predict where the nodes are. It will be present in some other location. So we have to create a program to link everything or make sure that where I'm starting from and where I'm passing through and where I'm going to end. Like your cell phone towers, you have a lot of towers located in different locations. You can able to identify if I want to make a service in all the towers, I'll be starting from one particular tower and I'll be making sure or I'll be mentioning to my superior that I'm traveling from this tower to this tower and I'm moving on through this location, and finally I'll be ending to this particular network tower. So likewise, we have to ensure the travel of trees or traveling in between the nodes. That's your tree traversal. A traversal is a process to visit all the nodes of a tree and may print their values too. Because all nodes are connected via edges, we call it as links. We always start from the root, that means from the head of the node. That is, we cannot randomly access a node in a tree. We can't just jump here and there. We have to make a structure or we have to mention the path. Here we have three ways which we can use to traverse a tree. Here given a default path where you can able to travel. We call it as in order, pre order and post order. The traversal of in order is I start from the leftmost node. Remember, it's not left node, leftmost node. And then I go to the root where n is nothing but the root node and r is right. That means left, root and then right. That's our in order. And next is pre-order traversal. That means I start from the root initially and go to the leftmost node and cover the rightmost node. Okay. And post-order traversal, I start from the leftmost node, then move on to the rightmost node. Finally, I'll be covering the root. Okay. All these in order, pre-order, post-order traversal are very important when it comes to tree, binary tree, and we are going to learn about binary search tree also. So let's see in depth about what is in order, pre-order and post-order. Let's see with the tree structure. I'm taking a very simple tree structure over here. I told you the traversal order, that is left, node, that means root and right for in order. Look over here. This is my root. 1 is my root and 2, 3 are the child of 1 and 4, 5 are the child of 2, goes on. So let me find out for this tree structure how the nodes are going to be connected, starting where and ending where. First, I'll go with this one. I check this is a root node. Since it's a in order traversal, I should go to the leftmost node. The left of 1 is 2. I'm supposed to take this, but you can see here this has a separate structure. It's a tree structure. That means 2 becomes a parent for 4 and 5. So again, look for 2's leftmost node. That means I have 4. And check whether I have any other nodes. I don't have any other node. This is the last node. So this is going to be printed first. My leftmost node, I'm going to print in the output screen. You can see 4 is printed first. And next I have to go for the root of it. It's not root, I have to go for the node of it, that means the parent node. The parent of 4 is 2, so that will be printed next. I need to complete this part first and then only I will be jumping to 1. Till then I have to roll here only. So when it comes to 2, 4, 5, this is the leftmost one, this is a node, and this is the rightmost one. So I am printing 4 and then 2 and then 5. You can see 4, 2, 5. Now I am done with this leftmost side. I am done with this part. Now come to the root node, that will be printed, and the right node is 3. Finally that will be printed. Okay, so covering the left. So while you're covering the left or right side, make sure it has a sub partitions also. First you have to focus on the sub partition, complete, apply this in order traversal in that sub partition, finish that, and then come to the root. Likewise, that applies for the right side also. And pre-order, it's we start from root and then go to leftmost and then rightmost. So first one is going to be printed, that's my root node, and then I have to go to the leftmost node. You can see 2, again it's a node, parent node for 4 and 5. So what happens? 2 will be printed. Remember, it's a separate substructure. So in this substructure, you have to look which is the parent and which is the child and which is the right child. So here this is a parent, so that should be printed 2, and then go to the leftmost one, we have 4, that will be printed, and then go for the rightmost one, 5 will be printed. So once I am done with the subtree, now I go for the right side. Right side we have only 3 will be printed. Okay, root, left, and then right. And finally, post order traversal. Here we start from left, right, and node. We know that the leftmost one is 4, that will be printed first. And we are supposed to print the right side, but we have to complete this subtree first. So in the subtree, this is the left, this is the right, and this is the node, parent node. So I am going for 4 first, 4 will be printed, and then I go for 5, 5 will be printed, and then I go for 2, 2 will be printed. The subtree is over now. So left part is done. Now go for the right part. We have 3, that will be printed, and finally go to the root node, that is 1. So that's a difference between in order, pre-order, and post order. When we are going to include this traversal in most of the tree structure, whenever there is a question related to binary tree or binary search tree, you have to ensure that you are mentioning this pre-order, in order, and post order. We have a simulation where you can find in the internet. I will send you the link. In that particular link, you can able to understand how exactly this in order, pre-order, post order works. You can take a complex tree structure also, that will give a much more clear idea how this traversal really works. I'm going to show you one example in that simulation. Just have a look at it. Alright, this is the simulator page where you can see all the options. Here it's given as binary search tree, and it's applied for binary tree also. Binary search tree is a separate topic that you can see that in the next video. Let's understand about this traversal over here. You can see we have a random binary search tree. Either you can insert nodes, like you can see here, if I want to insert 8 as the first node, just press 8 and click insert. Automatically the node will be inserted, and that becomes your root node. And again, if you want to insert 6, insert, and it will automatically insert over here. You can see the binary search tree condition is applied over here. We didn't see that yet, so you don't need to worry about that right now. So let's not waste our time in entering all the numbers one by one. We know that how the binary tree structure looks like. So let me click this random tree. Let me click this. You can see it has already created some random tree for us. So let me try to find a perfect tree structure. Yeah, this looks perfect. You can see all the node carries exactly one left, one right, one left, one right. So this looks a complete binary tree structure. So let me take this as an example, and let's see how this in order, pre-order, post order works in this. And you can see here we have once we click this, you can see at the left hand side we have in order, pre-order, and post order concepts. So let me go with the in order. Let me click that. So let me pass this. Okay. All right. See, you can see over here This is the pointer where it started from 6. We know the order of in order. In order means it comes to the leftmost and then root and then rightmost. Left, root, right. According to this binary tree structure, I am starting from 66. I am coming to 36. Again, it has a subtree, and again I am coming to the leftmost. I have 18. Again, I come to the leftmost. I have 17. So this is the leftmost one. 17 is the leftmost one. That will be entered in the array first. You can check here. Click the play button. It checks 17, and 17 is the leftmost one. That will be entered in the array slot. In the array slot, 17 is entered. Next, this is the least, I mean, that's a recent subtree, isn't it? I took 17. Now this will be completed first. Once this subtree completed, it goes for this subtree. Once this is completed, and then go for root. Go step by step. Now 17 is completed. So what is the parent node of 17? 18. So that's our next target. Left, root, right. Root means the parent becomes root also. I mean, that will be considered as a root also. So 17, 18, 19 will be printed. Check there. You can see it comes over here. 18 comes inside. Again, the right side we have 19. That comes inside. Alright. So this part is over. My left side, left sub partition is over. Now the parent of this left sub partition is 36. Okay, that will be printed. It goes over here and checks 36, and that will be printed. So left, root completed. Now go for the right side. In the right side again I have a subtree. So that means I have to find the left first, and then root, and then right. That means 38, 39, 41. Go for 38 first. That's the leftmost one, and the root is 39. That means the parent node is 39, and the rightmost one is 41. Alright. So all these left sub partitions, sub trees are over. Now this is the root. 66 will be printed next, and then it comes to the right side. In the right side again I have a subtree. The leftmost 72 will be printed, and then 73, and finally 74 will be printed. Let's check. It goes to the root, it will be printed, and then goes to the rightmost one. We have 73, it has a sub partition, so 72 is the leftmost one, that will be printed, and the root is 73, that will be printed, and finally the right side node 74, that will be printed. And again it comes to the root. That's it. So this is how in order traversal works in any given binary tree. So let us check the next one, pre-order array. Let's click that. So pre-order, we start with the root and then cover the leftmost and then cover the rightmost. So I am starting from root. So 66 will be printed first. 66 comes first. Now it comes to the leftmost node. The leftmost is 17 over here. But remember, it gives priority to the root node. That means the parent nodes. First it gives priority to the parent node, and then it comes to the leftmost one. Just look how it is traveling. It's coming and looking for 36. That's a parent, isn't it? So first parent should be printed. Root or parent, that will be printed first. 36 will be printed. And next it has to look for left side. But in this left side, this becomes a parent for 17 and 19. So again parent will be printed. It comes 18. The leftmost, that becomes a parent, so that will be printed. And then it comes to the leftmost one, we have 17, and then right side we have 19. So it takes 17, and right side we have 19. It comes to the right side, it's 19, 19 will be printed. Listen here, the left side is over. Now we go for the right side. In the right side, this becomes your parent node. So according to pre-order, the parent nodes should be printed first. So 39 will be printed first, and then left side 38, and then right side 41. Look, we don't have anything to continue. It comes back, comes to 36, come to 39, 39 will be printed, and leftmost node 38 will be printed, and comes back to 39, and comes to the right side 41 will be printed. So all this left side is over. Now it goes to the right side. In the right side, we have 73 as a parent. So 73 will be printed. and then left side 72, and finally 74. It goes back to the root 66 and comes to the right side. 73 is the parent, that will be printed, and comes to the left side. 72 is the left subtree, and again it comes to the right side. We have 74, and finally it will come back and settle to the root node. Okay, that's it. Pre-order. The final one is post order. Let's see that too. The concept of post order is it covers the left side and then right side. Finally, it goes for the root node or parent node. So what happens? It never prints 66 first. It comes to the deepmost one. That means 17 will be printed first, and then 19, and then 18. Alright, so the leftmost is done, and comes to the rightmost one. So in the rightmost one, again this is the left. So 38, 41, and then 39. And finally 36 will be printed. Just check. It comes to the leftmost one. 17 will be printed, and the rightmost node is 19. 19 will be printed, and then come to the parent node 18. That will be printed, and then come to the right subtree. In the right subtree, the leftmost one is 38. That will be printed, and the right subtree 41 will be printed, and the parent node 39 will be printed. And all these are left and right over. Finally 36 will be printed, and all this left side is over. Now come to the right side. In the right side, the leftmost is 72. That will be printed, and rightmost we have 74. That will be printed, and the parent node 73 will be printed. So once we are done with all the left and right, finally we come to 66. That will be printed. So this simulation will really help you to understand, to have a complex tree structure, and understand how the traversal really works for all these three categories: in order, pre-order, and post order. So keeping all this concept in your mind, let's jump into code blocks and see how we are coding for this category. We have to do a lot of iteration when it comes to this in order, pre-order, and post order, because we have a lot of subtree. For every subtree, the loop should complete. This loop should complete, and then this loop should complete, and then the overall loop should complete, and then finally this loop should be complete. And we have to look at the big picture of the loop also. So inside a big picture of the loop, we have a lot of sub loops. That means a lot of iterations we have to take care over here. The program looks a little bit complex. I'm not going to teach you step by step, since we people are quite clear about the C++ coding. I'll send you all the codes in the PDF format. Even though you can see the code, I'll explain the structure, what are the functions we are using, and how it is being taken forwarded. Just have a look at it, and then we see the output. That will give a exact idea about this binary tree and as well as traversal. Let's get into code blocks. I have created a name called binary tree traversal.cpp, and we have a class name called tree_class. And inside private, I'm giving the structure. You can see the structure over here, the same thing which we saw in the PPT, struct bin, data, left, right, and I'm giving the node as a name for the structure. So if I want to mention any other structure, just mention the name node. That node is enough. And we see all the functions that we are using inside the class, and we know that we are following an abstract data type. That means I'm not defining anything inside the class. I'm just going to declare it. All the definition part will happen outside the class. First, I'm giving some name for the structure. So I'm using node. For this node, the name which I'm giving is new and as well as root. These are the two new names I am assigning for the tree structure. So if I am creating new, it will automatically create with 3 partition. If I am saying root, automatically 3 partition will be created. But I haven't created any dynamic memory allocation till now. Just assigning names to the node. That's it. And you can see I'm having the same class name over here. If you can easily guess what it is a constructor. Anything starts with a class name, we call it as a constructor. And look for the parameters. We don't have any parameter. That means it's a default constructor. And then we have all the function for creating the node, function for insertion. For insertion, I have to mention which node I'm inserting and in which location I'm inserting, whether left or right. I should be very clear in explaining. And then I have in order, pre-order and post order. Right. So keeping all this, the nodes or the parameters that is really required, we can see from the main function. And all these functions are defined outside the class. Before seeing all the definition part, let's start directly from the main function. In the main function, I am giving a choice. I am declaring a variable called choice. And this is my object that I have created for the class name tree underscore class. Obj is the object I am creating. And inside do while I am creating all these to display in my output screen. You can see all these kind of things. This will be displayed in your output screen. And I am giving a choice. So choice 1 means for create, 2 in order, 3 pre-order, 4 post order, and exit and so on. So for insertion, it happens inside the create itself. You can look at that. 1, I'm saying object dot create. So this is the function I'm calling first. So let us see what we have in create function. Okay, here's a create function. Here I'm assigning a character, saying character ans equal to y. And then again I have a do while. Here I'm saying new equal to new node. That means here is where I'm assigning a new node and I'm assigning the name as new. This small new is a keyword. Here I'm using n as a capital letter. It is not a keyword. That's a name for the node. And then all the extra formalities. I'm getting the data and data will be filled. Since this is the only node, the left and the right is going to be kept as null. So you can see the node over here. One data and the left and right are kept as null. If root equal to null, in our case we haven't created anything as root, but we have assigned a name for the structure. If we haven't assigned anything as root, just assign new as a root node. Since this is the only node I'm creating, we know that the first node that we are creating is going to be the root node. That's what I'm assigning, root equal to new. Else, that means if you think that we already have so many nodes present, this is not the root means, we have to go and insert in the appropriate position. Exactly where you wish to insert, you can go for it. So you can see the insert function before getting into it. The remaining part are quite natural. Whether you want to continue, whether you want to create more nodes, yes means it will continue, no means it will come out of the loop. And insert function, here I'm giving these two, root and new. New is a node that I recently created, and root is something which I assigned for the particular node. And here I am declaring a variable character ch, and I am giving where to insert, whether you want to insert at the left side or right side. So whether you are going for root points to data. Now you can understand the purpose of bringing this root over here. We have to bring the root every time while you insert, because we start from the root. From the root, I'll be traveling to either to left or right. I'll be deciding like that. First, make sure where to insert, whether you're going for the left or right side of root. Root points to data. I'll be giving the data here. If I say right, so if I'm giving in the if condition, whether if you're pressing a small R or capital R. If I'm pressing any small or capital R, automatically it will be getting into it. If root points to right equal to null. What is the meaning? Root points to right. That means in the right side of the root node, if it is null, that means you don't have any other nodes. So I'm going to assign this new node over here. So I'm saying root points to right equal to new. The new node will be inserted over here. This address will be placed in the root points to right. The right side of the partition will be having the address of new node. That's what I'm doing. Else, insert root points to right comma new. Alright, again that means if it is not working, that means if you don't have anything to be assigned, that means for example, if you have a right side, you may be having 2 more nodes. That means the root is already assigned with some other addresses over here. So you can see again you have to come to right, again you have to come to right. You can see so many subdivisions. So you have so many subdivision. Again you have to call the same insert function. Again go to the same insert. This is you call the iteration. Again the same function is called. Again you go with root points to right. Root points to right means you can say the right side below. After right side you may be having some other node. That node's name will be brought over here. Okay, and the new node. And again it will be checking in that particular subdivision whether you want to go left or right. Okay, and whether if you are pressing right, again look for it, or else again go for insert. So it will keep on rotating. So this is a sub nested if else condition. You can see it's a nested if else condition. That means you can go to the right side, right side, right side, right side. You can go to the deep of the right side of your existing tree structure. This is for the right side. So in the else condition, you can see for the left side. So if the root points to left equal to null, you just insert the new node right below the root node. Or else, no, we already have so many left nodes available means, again you have to call the same function. Again the other iteration calls on. So you have to go to the left side, leftmost side of your root. So that's your insert and create function. You have to make sure where you're going to insert your new node. And then you have all the in order, pre order, post order. You can see code is very simple. If temp is not equal to null, that means if there is no, if there is some node is available, that's the meaning. I'm assigning temp somewhere. You know that's done previously inside the main function. You can see in the main function. I'm giving a choice and somewhere, you know, we'll be assigning this temp somewhere. I couldn't able to get that right now. Somewhere we'll be using this temp. Let me, yeah, over here, the node which I'm giving over here temp, I'm just initializing temp inside the parameter. I forgot to check that. So second option is for in order, and third case is for pre-order, and fourth case is for post-order. Let's check that function. In order, you can see I'm having the node over here. I'm starting from the node. That means I'm starting from the root node or any node that you're mentioning. I have to travel from here in order, and then I have to go for the root, and then I have to go for the right. We know the logic for in order. Left means here, and then go for the root or parent over here, and then go for the right. You can see I'm calling the function again and again. That's what happens. The same in order function is called. You can see the same function will be called. That means it goes to the left side. Okay, so it goes to the leftmost side. It takes a node, and then the parent or the root node will be printed. And then again the same function is called with the right side. You can see temp points to right. The same function is called, but it goes to the right side, and that data will be printed. Okay, so the loop keeps on working. I told you by looking at the picture, it keeps on working for in order. And pre-order, we know it starts from the root or parent node. You can see it's starting from root or parent, and then the same pre-order function is called with the left side, and then same pre-order function is called to the right side. That's for pre-order. And post-order, we go to the left first, so left side node is called first, and then go to the rightmost node, and then go for the root or parent. Right? It's all about iteration. The logic will be quite confusing, you know, when you start looking deeply into the iteration concept. Once if you understood the logic, the tree structure logic, the iteration will be quite easy for you to catch up. Because the same function, you can see the nested function over here. Again, the same function is called again and again and again to get into the deep of the left side or right side. Okay. This is your program, and all your cases ends over here, and final case is to end. So while the choice is not equal to 5, come out of the loop. So let's run the program. Okay. Let me take the same tree structure that we saw in the example. You can see the root node as 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me give the same input. So let's cross check whether we get the same output for in order, pre order, and post order. First thing, I need to create the node. That's important thing. Want to create, press enter. It is asking to enter the element. Okay, it's asking to enter the element. So root node is 1, so I am pressing N, 1. Press enter. Do you want to enter more elements? So I press Y and enter. Now enter the element and the second element. that means left side. So I am pressing 2 and it's asking where to insert, whether left or right of 1. It should go to the left side, so I am pressing L, enter. Again it's asking whether do you want to continue. I press Y. It's asking for the element. The right side element is 3. I am pressing 3. Whether you want to insert at the left or right of 1. Right side, so I am pressing R, enter. Do you want to enter more elements? Of course I want to. Y, enter the element. Now the leftmost one is 4. Whether it should go to the left or right of 1. It should go to the left of 1, and whether you want to go for the left or right of 2, because we have 2 below that 1. Left side, when you go to the left side, below 1 we have 2. So it's asking whether below 2 you want to go left or right. It should go to the left side. Again I am pressing L. You want to continue? Yes. Enter the element. Now I want to go for 5. Pressing 5. Left or right of 1, I should go to left. Now left or right of 2, it should go to right. So right I am pressing. Now that's it. I am done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am pressing N. It comes out of it. Now let's check with all the in order, pre-order and post order. If I press 2, that's for in order. That means left, root, right. What do you got? 4, 2, 5, 1, 3. Check with the tree structure that we already saw. It will be exactly the same thing that we did in order traversal. Now check for pre-order. Press the option 3. So we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. Okay, now go for post order. Press 4. Now you got 4, 5, 2, 3, 1. Okay, all that we already expected. The expected same output we got over here for pre-order, in order and post order. This is about your tree structure, binary tree structure, and as well as the tree traversal. So if you press 5, it comes out of the loop. That's it. Hope you're clear about this nonlinear data structure using the concept of tree. This is simple tree structure, binary tree. We are going to see more tree structures. We are going to see about AVL tree, splay tree and some other trees too. In the next video, we are going to see about binary search tree. Again, the binary search tree, we are going to see about all the tree traversals again. Same in order, pre-order, post-order will come. Most importantly, we'll be learning about binary search tree. That has a quite different logic when it comes to binary tree. So I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.